What's up, everybody? This is The Overlook. I am Corey. This is Kev. We talk about One Piece every damn day, and you're damn right. It's Tuesday, Titanic Tuesday, where we talk about the 10 Titanic captains of the Blackbeard
Here.
Pirates. If this is your first week, go back. We got a couple. We've done Katarina Devon. We've done Van Auger. We've done Avalo Pizarro. We've done Shiryu of the Rain. I think we've done one more, right? Vasco shot last week.
Vasco
So
shot.
we are on number 6, Jesus Burgess. So let's talk about Jesus Burgess. If this is your first show, what we like to do is start with their intro, go into a little bit of their personality. If there isn't a lot of history of them on the screen or have notable feats, we just go into theory mode where we just start shooting out I don't know, random theories that we think. Actually, I got a Jesus Burgess theory for you guys.
Ooh,
So stick
put it-
towards the end of the show. If you guys got
Okay.
a theory for who you think Jesus Burgess is going to fight in the end, let us know. Who is his opposition going to be? Is it Sanji? Is it Frankie? It's not Zoro. We know that. But yeah, like, subscribe, do all the good stuff. Let's get started. Jesus Burgess, better known as the Champion, is the helmsman and one of the 10 Titanic captains of the Blackbeard Pirates as the captain of the first ship. Due to his actions and role, he is a minor antagonist in the Jaya arc, a supporting antagonist in the Impelled Down arc, Marineford and Dressrosa arcs, a minor antagonist in the Egghead arc, and a major antagonist in the final saga. I mean, maybe he will fight Zoro at this point. I guess shit. The first ship? I didn't know he was the first
We
ship.
don't know. We don't know. I mean, he got that. He is the champion.
Yeah. We're gonna talk a little bit about that. So on that, speaking of champion, there was a fighting tournament. We're gonna be talking about his role a little bit in that one.
Yeah.
But personality-wise, I mean, you want to go?
Wow.
First, or, yeah.
Yeah.
We know who he is. You know what I mean?
He is. I love that because, as we've talked a couple times off screen, it takes it takes 1 to 2 episodes for every other anime to introduce the very strong person. It took Oda 600 chapters. So I mean, he chose Jesus Burgess to have this power. He is that normal, brawly, very buff guy. I mean, that's his role, is to just kind of be the loud, obnoxious, strong person,
Yeah.
and he gets that role to a T.
And it's kind of the opposite of the Luffy Zoro role, where Luffy is the loud one and Zoro is like kind of more calculated and kind of more direct. Jesus Burgess is the loud one, always jumping into the fight, kind of ready to scrap. And then Blackbeard is the one that is more methodical and kind of more direct and to the point when he needs something. That's actually a good little parallel. He probably planned that a long time ago, but that's something that I don't actually think about.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you make any type of power structure, how far do you get down the list until you pick the power fruit? You know, it's like good on Oda for being really outside the box thinking powers, because I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and we're gonna see how that evolves, because it's
Sure.
such, even all of Oda's simple like devil fruits all have a quirk to them that you're kind of like, what's going on? So I'm actually pretty interested to see how his devil fruit works. So I mean, he's 27 when we meet him, 29 after the time skip. He has a very similar laugh to Blackbeard as well. He says "we ha ha ha" besides "they ha ha ha." So I think they got like a pattern going there too. Like they're like the Luffy Zoro, Jesus Burgess, Blackbeard combo. I think we got to go into in a video. Like we got to deep dive into that. But that being said, when we first meet him, we meet him like in the Jaya arc, in the Sky Islands arc, right?
Yep.
He's on the same island as Blackbeard when Blackbeard and Luffy are eating at the bar. They've tried to take out the Straw Hat Pirates before they got on the knockup stream, and Jesus Burgess, as long as the rest of the crew, their ship got destroyed with the knockup stream. But that's That's where we see him before Water 7, Enies Lobby, all that kind of stuff. So like,
Sure.
I guess first thoughts of like the side by side. You see Jesus Burgess walking. You see Blackbeard walking. You see Doc Q. Oh, we also did Doc Q walking, and you see Van Auger. So it's like it's just the four of them in the very beginning. And so Jesus Burgess is their strong man, obviously. But like, what are your first impressions when you see this guy?
Just the loud. I mean, just the loud character. Again, we don't know much about them at this stage, but we knew he was going to be loud. And them introducing Blackbeard here, you don't waste the name Blackbeard on a side character. Like that's like we knew that Teach was going to be somebody who was going to be somebody strong. So you knew that he was going to have strong people. So I knew that they were going to be important, but I didn't really know what direction that they were going to take.
Yeah.
What about you?
I guess he is still a little bit of a mystery. So we
Sure.
know a couple of things. I guess if we're gonna skip around, we'll skip to like Dressrosa right now, right? Before Dressrosa, we see him. He's at he breaks people out of Impel Down. He is at Marineford. He shoots up Whitebeard. We've talked about that before in our other Titanic captive videos at length, so go back there. But let's just skip to the Coliseum where he's fighting Sabo, fighting Luffy, fighting his way to get to the Mara Marinomi. That was his original plan, man. He was not supposed to have the strong fruit. He was supposed to have the Mara Marinomi.
Imagine the difference. I don't know what it looks like, to be honest. Because like I said, I love Sabo with it, so it's hard to imagine it going anywhere else. But it's a strong fruit.
I think it would be a lot more like Ace, how he just used to do giant fireballs. Like I could see Jesus Burgess just making giant fireballs and throwing them at towns on like some Frieza stuff. Like that
would be awesome. Yeah.
Or
like
just
a terrorizing ability, not really an effective one.
Yeah.
Right?
Or coating his body in fire while he punches people or something like that. Like it's very much terror inducing how he would use it. But instead he got his ass handed to him by Luffy and Sabo.
Yeah. Which, I mean, he needs to get his hockey game up, but once he does, with his strong fruit and developed armament hockey, it's gonna be a tough punch to take. It's not gonna be something that everyone wants to take.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna put it up to the level of where Garp under Garp like Garp's capability, but up there. It's gonna be up there.
That's a pretty interesting thought of if he knew Rio, because he knows armament hockey, but if he knew like Rio and had like Conqueror's hockey that he could like mix with that or something like that, that would be devastating. Because with the strong fruit, it is shown that he can lift a mountain. Like he can just rip a mountain up off the ground. I don't even know how many pounds that is, bro. I can't even fathom how many pounds that is.
Without hockey, it was Luffy was picking up squares and Wano. Remember, it wasn't struggling, but Jesus Burgess wasn't struggling picking up this mountain either. So he's strong. So I think as far as if he can get that armament hockey up there, I think he can be a devastatingly strong.
As far as his role in the story and getting closer to the final saga, because since Dressrosa, let's take a little tour down memory lane. So Dressrosa, he goes there, get the Mara Marinomi. He's also undercover, just like Luffy. Gets to the point where he's about to grab it. Sabo takes it, beats him in the Coliseum. And then when all hell is breaking loose, Sabo beats him again in the street. And then he leaves. Face all scarred up, burnt up. He gets a new mask. Next time we see him, he's outside the revolutionary base. And he's calling in information to God knows who. Probably Blackbeard. We think it's Blackbeard.
Yeah.
Like, all sources say Blackbeard, but it could have been anybody. It could have been Big News Morgan's. That's also one of our theories. Check one of our
as soon as I
Yeah.
was going to bring it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Check out our other videos on Big News Morgan and the ones before it. Uh,
Why send him?
why send him?
He's not.
I
He's
don't.
not sneaky.
I don't
He's
think
not
he was
sneaky.
sent. That's the thing.
Oh, you think
Like,
he just ended up there and he just called it in
no,
like
I
a
think
tip line?
I think that is something that they would have eventually needed. But G's Burgess just got done up by Sabo. You know what I mean? So he's like, oh well, I got a reason to go over there first. You know what I mean? Like if they got a whole plan, like this is what we need to do, this is what we need to do. I bet you G's Burgess is like, that's me. I'm out. He went and he destroyed a revolutionary base.
Yeah,
And it looked like by himself.
and it didn't. Yeah.
We don't know who was at the base at the time.
Yeah, again, it could be cannon fodder who can't even use hockey, so that's fine.
His birthday's on Christmas. But yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, it could have been fodder, but it's like, I mean, where were you at, Dragon?
But it can't be unsaid. Like it's not like Blackbeard chooses bad people either. Like he chooses people who we don't see the potential yet, but Kuzan decided to join this crew. He must have also seen an avenue for success for using this crew for his own goals as well. So they see something that we don't right now because Oda hasn't written it for it.
Yeah, we don't know how those two met or how he
Yeah.
was recruited because we've seen that he has always been with them and he's always
Yes.
been like the. I would like it if we don't hear a lot about. Man, would G's Burgess be on the Whitebeard Pirates too?
No, post Whitebeard Pirates.
Yeah, that's when he started.
That's when he had to. That's when he had to get all three of them. Doc Q, Van Auger. None of them were. It was just him.
Yeah, wait,
Yeah.
wasn't it just him? Either way. I'm not gonna muddy that
Yeah.
up.
We'll
Uh,
go back.
But yeah, so I mean, as far as like final fights, let's say he had to go take out the revolutionary base, right? That was the thing he did, and then we saw him again. Next time we saw him, I think it was when they were fighting the Heart Pirates. He was in that
Sure.
fight. But where do we scale him? We've seen the revolutionary captains. Do you think he could take out Morley?
I was in my head. I was pitting him against Morley. I think that would be good. I think I would prefer a rematch with Sabo, but this time make it closer, where it's like you see the progress in with Burgess, but at the end of the day, Sabo's he's the Luffy's brother.
That's true. Also,
yeah.
in Dressrosa, Sabo wasn't trying to save anybody. All Burgess has to do is collateral damage.
That's true.
And he will throw Sabo off his game. Because that's kind of the thing Sabo's all about, is saving people.
Do you...
Yeah.
So who do you think he faces on Straw Hat? Who's your...
That's where I'm trying to figure out. Because with the strong fruit, obviously he's going to be like way too powerful for a lot of people to just fight. I feel like if we just go down the line, Sanji has already fought somebody who is overpowered. You know what I mean? A couple of times. Like Queen is like a larger opponent. I think Sanji's going to fight an opponent like more his size next time.
Okay.
Or in the final fights. That's going to be more important. I don't know. Maybe speed related. Going down the line, like Jinbei, possibly, because Jinbei's supposed to have like the greatest defense. You know what I mean?
He has great armament hockey and fishman karate. So,
but I think Frankie would get dog walked.
Our Frankie now, yes. Now, obviously, you'll have to go back and look at our Frankie video. I think we see a power up for Frankie in the future. We'll have to see what happens with that. But let's say Jesus Burgess or Emmett in a straight up fight, him or Emmett, that's a little bit better. So,
like if they're just straight up punching.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's
where I'm putting Frankie.
Because it's like,
Frankie could be there. Mm.
because right now what you're asking me is, can Emmett rip a mountain up off the ground and pick it up? And
Mm.
I
I
right
don't
now
know.
I want
I
to
don't think
say
so.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yo,
You're right.
that's
I don't know. Great question. And Jesus Burgess just got the power. I mean, in our time, it's been like 5 years, but in their time, it's been like 3 months. Like
Yeah,
he
like
just got like after Dressrosa is when he got it. So it's like he hasn't had it very long. So I don't. He may get way stronger, and we'll see him really.
I wonder if he knew what it was when he ate it. Or if it was just like luck of the draw, and he was like, "Fuck it, man! I ain't got the flare. Give me whatever fruit we got."
If he came back that upset, I agree. But if they're trying to be meticulous and choosy, Blackbeard is very knowledgeable. I mean, look at what he did for the Nami Nami. I think he would be like, actually, I love Van Auger. Let me get you the warp fruit or something. I don't know. I don't know. We don't know enough yet, but Blackbeard and
Because
all the
that
pirates
wasn't their
are
first time
exciting.
trying to get the flare fruit. He was trying to give, he was trying to give Jesus Burgess the flare fruit pre-time skip when they were fighting, not Sabo, Ace.
Ace,
Yeah.
yes. And then post time skip. And then he tried to steal laws. He tried to steal boas. I think he is so meticulous and so like thoughtful with his actions that I don't see these being accidents. I don't.
Yeah.
Like, I think Blackbeard's not to be fucked with. And I think that goes for the crew as well.
Yeah, I agree. But that being said, short video today, guys. Not a lot on Jesus Burgess. Kind of just, hit the points. The biggest notable experience with him has been the Coliseum. He did fight a little bit on Winter Island, but, I mean, he got his ass handed to him by Beppo. So we're not going to really mention that. We didn't really see too many feats except him, ripping up parts of the mountain. But, I mean,
Yep.
what were you going to say? But yeah, it would be cool to see. I mean, I think he would be an opponent. He's also very large in like stature, so maybe he'd be an opponent that they got to have multiple people fight. Like maybe the Weak Trio fights Burgess or something like that.
I don't hate that.
Watch them on some like old school Naruto stuff, like use some tactics. Like I wouldn't hate that. What do you guys think? How do you guys feel about Jesus Burgess? Who do you guys want to see him fight in the final sagas and fights or the next fight? Who cares really? Anything. Write it down below. Yeah. How you guys like that duality thing I was talking about with Zoro and the Luffy too? Let me know about
I
that.
like that.
We'll be back tomorrow.
See you
Peace.
guys then.